it has been a minute and I feel like I am a bit out of practice talking to my camera. With that change came the realization that I am ready to start using my new name. And so I wanted to share that with you because moving forward, I will be introducing myself differently in the videos. And I didn't want you to be completely and totally confused by that. Well, hello and welcome to my new video. If you're new around here, my name is Annie and this channel is all about my journey in seeking a cozy life. If you've been around here for a bit, then welcome back. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I know it's been a minute since my last upload and I have missed talking with you guys and sharing life stuff. So with that being said, I wanted to kind of make just a quick kind of update video because I haven't uploaded in like 2 or 3 weeks, I think. I wanted to just kind of share some of the things that I have been walking through, basically. I've been doing a lot of deep work and dealing with quite a bit and just kind of wanted to chat about it. And you know me, I always seek to normalize the ups and the downs in life, and hopefully by talking about some of this stuff help you feel less alone. If this sounds like something you would enjoy chatting with me about, then grab something cozy to sip on and get comfortable and we can hang out for a bit. Once again, I am sipping on a rooibos latte. It's basically 1 bag of rooibos red tea with some honey, and then I steamed some oat milk and kind of frothed it a little bit and put it in there. So that's that. It looks like coffee, honestly. And you could very easily mistake it for coffee except for the tea bag floating around in there. So if you see something floating in my latte, that's what it is. And then I'm drinking it out of a jam jar. I found some jam that I can have even on my low histamine diet, and it comes in the most adorable little mason jar mugs, and I was like, oh my god, I've got to use that for a latte. So I just thought it was like really cute. So that's what I'm gonna enjoy while we chat. So the past couple of weeks we have had kind of like a fall preview where it's been about 10 to 15 degrees cooler during the day and drier with a nice breeze. So I have been enjoying it so much, like actually stepping outside in the morning to take Desi out in a cardigan. Like we are first week of September and it has been awesome. Today is a bit warmer, but for some reason I'm just feeling really cold today. I think it's part of like some of the health stuff that I've got going on. So that's why I was like, it is time for a hot latte. And of course a cardigan. So in the last couple of weeks I have had some pretty big breakthroughs on my healing journey. And did a lot of, well, I learned it as being called parts work from Dr. Amy at Biology of Trauma. I know other people sometimes refer to it as shadow work. Basically, the idea is when we experience trauma, there are parts of ourselves that may carry that trauma if it's not resolved. So now as an adult, because those things weren't resolved, I have had to do a lot of work with the young parts of myself who were traumatized and wounded and never got resolution, healing. And so it's not the same as going back and like reliving that trauma, which is really, really important and why I've been able to do this. I did not go back during these part work sessions. I did not go back and relive the trauma. I delved into myself and met the parts of me who were traumatized where they were and gave them permission to let go of that trauma. Told them I loved them. Thanked them for getting me through those traumatic times. So it's very, very different from the traditional like perception of what trauma healing is and what trauma work is. So I wanted to explain that, but in the last couple of weeks, there were some really big shifts that happened. And there was one day in particular I had been meditating, and I saw very clearly saw the culmination of the parts work that I've been doing. I started doing parts work almost a year ago now. So like last October is when I started with Dr. Amy on the 21-day journey and all parts of me. So just to like, it's been a long journey, all this year basically. And I very much saw the culmination of it, and basically got to the point where I have healed so many parts of myself that I was able to get to the point where I could heal my past itself. And for me, what that looked like was, as I was meditating, I found myself in a room with all of the past versions of me, all of the past parts of me, all different ages, going back to the very beginning. And I was able to finally give them permission to rest, to release the past and rest and find healing. And it was such a profound experience. It was like honestly reminded me of when you're watching a foal get up for the first time and they're like, well, I have legs. They're supposed to do this thing, but I don't know how to make it happen. And they're just like, they don't know what to do with themselves. That has been the last couple of weeks for me since I went through like that really deep foundational healing of healing my past, releasing and letting go what no longer served me in my past. Like my past as a whole, releasing those stories, releasing the trauma, releasing the wounds, like everything that caused me to become someone other than my highest self, that shaped me into the chaotic, wounded girl who was me up until she found healing. And I have very much felt like a foal trying to find their footing for the first time. I'm 35, almost 35 and a half if you want to be pedantic about it. And here I am feeling like I don't know what to do with myself. Like, what? And with that change came the realization that I am ready to start using my new name. And so I wanted to share that with you as well as kind of an update, because moving forward I will be introducing myself differently in the videos, and I didn't want you to be completely and totally confused by that. I wanted to share all of that so that you have a look into what this kind of journey might look like. And obviously every journey is different, and everyone will experience these things differently as they dive deep. And for you, it may not result in a name change, but if it does, I want to normalize that, because as I said in one of my other videos, probably several, my name, Annie, for a long time, ever since, gosh, going back a really long time, I have felt like it was an itchy wool sweater that did not fit. Like someone calling me Annie, whether it's, verbal or in text, has always just kind of been like, ooh, like there's like an itch, like, ooh, that doesn't quite feel like me. And now I know why, which is, one of the things I shared in my very first video on this channel, starting over at 35. And so, I posted that beginning of the year, first video on the channel, like I said, and now we're coming into fall. And I am just now feeling like I can begin to use this name. Like I have started in the last couple of weeks telling people, safe people in my life, I'm ready. I'm ready. If you would like to call me by my new name, then I would be honored. If you forget because we've known each other for so long and you knew me as Annie like the whole time, that's okay. Like, I'm not gonna be butthurt. I'm not gonna be a stickler about it. But if you would like to be part of this process, this journey with me, then I would be honored. And they are starting to call me by my new name, and it feels me. It feels like I have found myself. So you may be asking, are you ever going to tell us what the new name is? Yes, I'm going to tell you right now. So basically, my current name is Anne Michelle. I'm going to drop the Michelle. Anne is going to become my middle name, and my new first name is going to be Olivia. Now, if you do follow me on Instagram, you may already be aware of this. So little thing there. If you're not following me on Instagram, you go do that. Sometimes I share stuff over there before I share it here because videos take a lot longer than a post. But if you didn't see that, then allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Olivia, and this channel is all about my journey in seeking a cozy life. Oh my god, that sounds so like... it feels so... oh my gosh. Like, it is exciting and nerve-wracking and like, yeah, all at one time. But I have to trust that I know what is best for me and share that with you guys and hope that it resonates with you on some level. So anyway, okay. So moving forward, I will be opening my videos with my new name, and that feels so good because it's me. So, okay. So that was huge, but that's not the only thing that I have been kind of walking through in the last couple of weeks. I have also been dealing with some health stuff, and I think maybe I finally have my next step. So I didn't realize, but there have been some health things I've been dealing with all the way back to my childhood that, because of how long I've had them, like as long as I can remember, I kind of thought they were normal until recently. And it kind of put me on a research path that led me to believe now I'm going to get tested. So I'm not just going to go off of my own research, obviously, but my research pointed me in the direction to find the correct place to test me. So that's very important. I am pretty sure I have POTS. Basically all of the heavy hitter symptoms, like the signature symptoms of POTS, I have. And for example, if I'm sitting cross-legged right now, if I put my feet on the floor too fast, like directly on the floor, I would feel a little spaced out. Or even worse, if I were to just stand up without easing up, I would feel dizzy and like spaced out and see like stuff around the edges of my vision. If I lie down, my head and my heart pound like crazy. I thought that was normal. Just part of having blood flow in your body move when you get up. And then the other really big one, just to keep this like really short instead of like diving into everything, because there are a lot of symptoms of POTS. So I'm not going to go through all of them, but the other big one that was a dead giveaway once I found out that this wasn't normal was the fact that no matter how much I drink, no matter what I drink, I am thirsty every single waking moment. I thought it was normal to be some degree of thirsty all the time until my partner said something about, I don't know how he put it. Like, I'm basically what it boiled down to was, oh, I'm not thirsty right now. Like, I think I had like offered him some cold water or something. I can't remember. He's like, no, it's okay. I'm not thirsty right now. And I'm like, you're not? Huh? Explain. Because to me, I always thought it was like, because I've always been thirsty. But I pee like crazy. Like, that's the thing. And that's part of POTS. And on its own, I know that that can also be like any of these things could technically be, well, some of them could technically be symptoms of other things, but put together, especially because I have had COVID, I think twice, and all of these symptoms got like 10 times worse after having COVID. I did find out that POTS is a common comorbidity with COVID, especially like long COVID. That kind of clicked into place too, like the timing of when these symptoms really like started ramping up compared to like when I had COVID. So anyway, I have found a place locally to me. I'm going to be calling them and getting on their schedule, hopefully pretty quickly, and hopefully it doesn't cost too much. But I'm going to go and get tested officially. And in the meantime, I have increased my electrolyte intake. I have started doing Himalayan salt sole every morning again, because there was a time quite a while ago when I did it when I was playing Ultimate Frisbee a lot. And I did it to help stay hydrated on those days, but I noticed that I felt better and I wasn't as thirsty. So it's one of the things I have started doing again. I got a little jar and some Himalayan salt, like big rocks, and basically you just put it in there and then fill it with filtered, distilled water and let it, it's basically like a brine, but we call it salt sole. And you have a teaspoon of it and 8 ounces of water every morning before you eat breakfast. And it has started helping, and then also like avoiding caffeine because it can be a mild diuretic, and basically keeping Powerade on hand, especially while it's summer and I'm like sweating a lot more, and like not being outside a whole lot in the heat has helped. So yeah, this week was a little tough because Saturday we had a birthday party. My partner's niece had a birthday party at the park, so we were out in the heat. And I was dead to the world Sunday and Monday. So this week was a little bit of a scuffy week. No migraine, thankfully, but I was just exhausted. I was dead. So I'm behind on some stuff for work as a result of that, but I'm starting to feel better. And now I know it's like, okay, even with these things in place, even though I am starting to feel better, I really do need to just avoid the heat, which going into fall is going to be so much better. But anyway, I feel like these breakthroughs in my mental health, healing, and my physical health are so overdue, so encouraging, because I haven't known what to do. I have known that I wanted to tap into my higher self, be my true self, but I didn't know how to overcome the things from my past that were holding me back. And I've found my answer. And I say my answer because it is different for everyone. It does look different for everyone. Not everyone is going to get the same things out of the parts work that I did. Although, after having worked with Dr. Amy for a while, it is very powerful for many people. So if that is something that you're interested in, I will leave her link in the description. I've also really been feeling the pull to be an alignment coach and offer the insight and wisdom and intuition that I have been finding, developing throughout this journey. And it's going to give me an opportunity to impact people and share the tools that I have found. And that just really lights me up. So I'm going to be putting together some stuff for that. I think I want to start with a workbook, like a digital product, like workbook. And then as my health improves, be able to start doing coaching sessions, alignment coaching sessions. So there's that. So in addition to my design studio, there's that. And then my Cosy office product line is still in my mind. And I was thinking about making a video going through the process of starting my line. Let me know if that would be something you would want to see, and I can share it. I already have a Shopify account set up, So it would basically be starting from getting a Shopify account and then using, I'd probably just start with a free template online. I already have my branding for Cosy made. That's the shop name. And I was originally going to do Etsy, but there have been some pretty big things going on Etsy, and I may, because my stuff will be print on demand, that can be like another conversation. But anyway, I'm thinking Shopify would probably be my one thing because they do have the shop app. I can get visibility through that. So if that's something you're interested in, if that is something that you've been thinking about doing, and it would be encouraging or interesting, informative for me to share what that looks like, please let me know in the comments. I would love to do that if that's something you want. So yeah. And then trying to think if there's anything else. So yeah, design studio. I had my first official client and it was awesome. She's actually going to have me do another website for her. So that, it was awesome to meet her, and she's local. So we're actually going to have coffee next week and talk about her new project. So that's been awesome. And yeah, everything was just really intense, and my creativity for YouTube was just kind of in the tank. And even though I felt guilty as all heck, I just let myself not post videos the last couple of weeks. And do I feel a little because I really did commit to a year of weekly videos? Yes. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna gloss over that. There's still a part of me that feels disappointed and, dare I say, a little guilty that I broke that commitment to myself. However, at the same time, I needed it. It was something that I did not have the energy to do. And last weekend, it was because I had been out in the heat. And before that, I had been dealing with health stuff. The week before, migraine. It was out of my control. I could not, in good conscience, force myself to record a video in the middle of those circumstances. You guys don't need that kind of energy in my videos, and I would have been betraying my body by doing that. And so coming to terms with that has not been easy, but I'm not going to let guilt or shame keep me from picking back up and doing the best that I can week to week. That's where we're at. Another really exciting thing is I have started working on my novel again. I'm so excited. I have gotten, I think I'm about to the halfway mark. I'm almost to 45,000 words out of 90. And things are heating up. Things are starting to heat up, and I am I'm getting to the sequence of events that I've had the most ideas for, that I have been the most excited to write. And basically the first half of the novel has been laying the groundwork for a lot of things in the future, which is how it's supposed to be, and leading up to this part. So I am oh my gosh. And I completely revamped my Notion dashboard for the novel, made it to where I can have more of an interactive outline with plot point cards and all this stuff. Yeah. So I have been writing almost every day the last couple of weeks. Well, I should say writing and or working on Notion stuff because I didn't have a place that I could actually fully organize all of my ideas into a cohesive plot. And, in doing that, for the future, and then also in doing that, keep track of what I have already done so that I have something to look, oh, okay, when did this happen? Oh, chapter this. Okay, cool. So I realized that the novel was getting long enough that I was starting to forget what happened when and in what order, and what had and had not happened yet was getting a little bit okay, did I put that idea in there I was thinking? No, I did not. Okay, I saved it. It was just getting harder and harder for me to keep track. And I was the longer this novel gets, the harder that's going to be. So like I even have a thing where I have my plot points, what chapters they happen in, and what characters are in each chapter. So that way I can remember exactly without having to scroll. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. So anyway, I'm really excited about that. And it's kind of that and like the fall, like the winds of change, you know, like, and the like seasonal like shift, like, it's good. It's good. So even though this week felt a little bit scuffy and I had serious brain fog and fatigue, I'm starting to kind of revive and feel excited about things again. So anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me. It means so much to me that I can come on here and share with you guys my journey, my insights, the things that I'm learning, and I really, really hope that these resonate with you and that it normalizes daily life, like the struggle and the joy and how those things go hand in hand so often, you know? I feel like the internet is so curated now, and to a degree, there will always be things that I curate that are strictly personal for me. But they are few and far between. And everything else, I think, needs to be talked about more. As you know, if you've been hanging out with me for a while. Anyway, I could keep rambling, but I'm going to let you go. Let me know on some of the things that I mentioned. If you do want to hear more in future videos, I definitely want to hear from you on that. And until then, Olivia signing out. Stay cozy, and I'll see you next time.